So chances are you've used tools like ChatGPT, right? We all have. But have you ever stopped to wonder what's really going on behind the screen? How does a machine actually know all that stuff? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and unpack the digital mind of OpenAI.
And really, it all boils down to this one big question. When you type something in and get a perfect answer back in seconds, it can feel like magic, like you're actually talking to a real consciousness. But it's actually a fascinating process of data, training, and human feedback. We're going to demystify the whole thing, starting with the products you probably already know.
Okay, so first up, the big one, the one that kind of changed everything, ChatGPT. It's so much more than just a chatbot, isn't it? For a lot of us, it's become this go-to creative partner that can help us write an email, figure out some tricky code, or even whip up a poem on the spot.
And then you've got its super creative sibling, DALL, which can take your wildest ideas and just turn them into these incredible one-of-a-kind images. But here's the thing, both ChatGPT and DALL are just the friendly faces, the front end for a technology that is way deeper and way more complex.
Right, so these amazing tools, they didn't just pop into existence. To really get what they are, we first need to understand the people and maybe more importantly, the mission behind them. It all kicks off with a company called OpenAI, which got its start way back in 2015. And their mission, right from day one, was incredibly ambitious. It wasn't just about building powerful AI. It was about making sure that AI is safe and actually benefits all of humanity. That's a pretty massive responsibility to build right into your DNA from the very beginning.
And wow, the team that started it all? A total powerhouse of tech visionaries. We're talking about names you definitely know, like Elon Musk and the current CEO, Sam Altman, working alongside some absolutely brilliant researchers who really set the stage for what AI could become.
But here's the thing. OpenAI is way more than just its famous chatbot. The GPT models, you can think of those as the core engines, the powerful brains behind everything. But they've also got specialized tools like Whisper, which is amazing for audio transcription. And this is crucial. They have APIs that let developers all over the world build their own new incredible applications using OpenAI's tech.
Okay, so we've covered the who and the what. Now for the really interesting part. How in the world do you actually build an AI that can, well, think? This is the core of our explainer, and we've broken it all down into 4 key stages to make it super clear.
So here they are. The best way to think about this is like a recipe, a 4-step recipe for cooking up an artificial intelligence. Let's walk through it one step at a time and see how it all comes together. All right, step 1, pre-training. You got to start with the foundation, right? In this stage, the AI basically reads a library the size of the entire internet. We're talking books, articles, websites, you name it. And it's not just memorizing stuff, that's the key. It's learning the patterns, the connections, the whole rhythm of human language on a massive, massive scale. But just knowing a ton of information doesn't make you helpful. So that brings us to step 2. Reinforcement learning. This is the human touch. Here, actual human trainers review and rank the AI's answers. They're teaching it the difference between an answer that's technically correct and one that's actually good. This is what teaches it to be helpful, to be safe, to have that, that nuance. So at this point, we've got a really smart AI that knows a little bit about everything. Stage 3, fine-tuning, is where we turn that generalist into a specialist. The model that's going to become ChatGPT, it gets trained like crazy on conversational data. The one for DALL, it gets a masterclass in art, images, and descriptions. Each one gets its own focused training to become an expert in its field. And that leads us to the final step, inference. This is the magic you see on your screen. When you type in a question, the model takes your words and starts generating a response by predicting the most likely next word, and then the next word, and the next, until the thought is complete. That's how it spits out what feels like an instant, fully formed thought.
So, we've talked about the training process, but what is the thing that's actually doing all this learning and predicting? To get that, we need to peek inside the AI's brain.
And at the very heart of all this is something called an artificial neural network. It's a pretty incredible concept. It's a computer system that's literally inspired by the structure of our own human brains. And it's designed to do what our brains do best, recognize patterns and learn from tons and tons of data.
And when you break it down, the basic structure is actually pretty straightforward. You've got 3 main parts. First, the input layer, which just takes in your question. Then that info gets passed through the hidden layers. This is the real brain of the operation, where all the complex processing and pattern recognition goes down. And finally, the output layer puts it all together and delivers that final answer you see on your screen. Okay, so we've looked at the who, the what, and the how. But let's zoom out. What does all of this incredible technology really mean for us, for society? To answer that, we have to go right back to OpenAI's founding idea.
And that brings us full circle, right back to their core mission. See, this isn't just about making better chatbots. The huge long-term goal is to create what's called artificial general intelligence, or AGI, an AI that can learn and reason on a human level. And that's the real challenge, right? Their stated goal is to get there in a way that's safe and that truly benefits everyone.
So there you have it. We've kind of unpacked the mechanics of this digital mind. We know now it's not actually magic, but this incredibly complex dance of data, training, and a whole lot of human guidance. But here's the thing. Knowing how it works just opens the door to an even bigger, more profound question. As this technology keeps getting better and better, where will this evolution ultimately take us? And the answer to that? Well, it's still being written.